I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming
Well, hello there! I'm so thrilled to share this amazing Nintendo Switch eShop sales. On top of our list is the inside. Hunted and alone, a boy finds himself drawn into the center of a dark project. Inside is a dark, narrative-driven platformer combining intense action with challenging puzzles. It has been critically acclaimed for its moody art style, ambient soundtrack, and unsettling atmosphere. Gameplay is simple. You can move left or right, jump or grab objects, and dash your lot. Background elements constantly have a bearing on puzzles you will encounter. For example, early on you're chased by a pack of wild dogs that come from the distant background. Underwater sections also add to that, especially coming from somebody who is rather terrified of water sections in some video games. Next is Need for Speed. Feel the thrill of the chase and the rush of escape in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered on Nintendo Switch. Release a savage sense of speed both as an outlaw and a cop in the world's hottest high-performance cars. Outsmart the heart or take down lawbreakers with the tactical weaponry at your disposal in a heart-pumping, socially competitive racing experience. Updated with enhanced visual cross-player platform multiplayer, including the synchronous competition powered by Autolog, plus all additional DLC content, this is the ultimate edition of Criterion Games' critically acclaimed Need for Speed debut. It's time to reignite the pursuit. Overcooked 2 is all about working together to get orders out. To maximize efficiency, everyone playing should study the layout of each Overcooked level and then take charge of a task, or delegate one person as the manager and have them assign tasks. For example, it's efficient to have one person gather ingredients, while another is in charge of chopping and tenderizing. In the meantime, someone also cooks and plates, and the last person serves and cleans dishes. If you have fewer than 4 people, then everyone may have more than one task to do. Some stages have kitchens that move around every so often, so that's another important factor to keep in mind. This causes layouts to change, so players also need to adapt to these changes and switch roles instantly if necessary. For those unfamiliar with the Torchlight series, Torchlight and Torchlight II are isometric hack-and-slash RPGs that feature randomly generated dungeons filled with various monsters and bosses. Players must slay enemies as they complete quests, level up their characters, and search for copious amounts of epic loot. Torchlight 2 is a direct sequel to the first Torchlight and keeps many of the same elements of the game while adding some additional features, the main one being multiplayer. The Torchlight series draws heavily from the older and more well-known Diablo series of games, but the difference in tone, art stats, and character customization, as well as the addition of mechanics such as pets, is enough to give Torchlight its own identity and make its own theme. Moving Out. Casting up to 4 players as employees of the Smooth Moves company, Moving Out features 30 main levels across its small town setting. Each location has gold, silver, and bronze tiered time limits to target as you scramble to gather up all the boxes, appliances, and stubbornly shaped pieces of furniture scattered about each level and ferry them to the back of the removalist truck. The controls are simple with buttons for grabbing, throwing, and jumping, but the challenge is presented by the unique properties of the objects themselves. If your preference would be to play Moving Out with friends locally, it's worth pointing out that there's no online functionality, so those hoping for options for playing with friends remotely are likely to be disappointed. Fugitive is a modern take on classic sandbox action, offering a new 3D top-down, open-world single-player experience. A sleepy American town with a booming criminal underbelly. No angel for sure, but not a killer. Yet the cold-blood murder of your dad is the crime they lock you up for. Fueled by grief and a burning desire for vengeance, you'll bust out of jail instead of finding the real culprit. Once outside, you will need to blend with the townsfolk to avoid recapture, establish contact with the criminal underworld, and stay one step ahead of the police dragnet. American Fugitive is a love letter to the classic movies and games of old. It's a race against time, and justice ain't always legal. With a title like Blasphemous, it's no surprise that everything is marked with callous religious iconography. unsettling cathedrals, shrieking nuns, rosary beads, and thorns. Blasphemous uses Christianity as its foundation for a world blanketed in chaos. Your silent hero is tasked with achieving the cradle of afflictions, a penance that takes him to Mother of Mother. While that could have been distracting, Blasphemous excels at creating a chilling atmosphere. The first time you see the penitent one, he is surrounded by a pile of corpses with matching capriolet helmets poking out from the top of the human rubble. Red Wings Aces of the Sky is a heavily arcade influence. World War I air combat game. Gameplay is where Red Wings truly shines. Most missions will challenge you to take out multiple waves of enemies in the wide open sky. Early on you will be up against other planes similar to your own, but with each new mission, new twists and new enemies types are introduced. Green beams need to be shot down, but doing so will call in a new wave of enemies. Red beams will continuously call in enemies until they're shot down. The entire game can also be played in split screen with a friend. Given that it can be quite hard, the extra wingman is a big help. The best worlds are often the ones that give you the choice to explore their secrets at your own pace. Where the right path isn't often the most obvious one, but the journey to finding it is satisfying. Hub's world is its greatest character, and it's one that keeps revealing sides to itself the further you are willing to delve. There are fields full of swaying long grass, hidden valleys stretched in lichens, and an ecosystem of wildlife that roam both above and below. But then you turn a key, blast through a wall, or uncover a secret entrance, and soon you're seeing the cogs wearing beneath. Entire hills rise and fall to reveal new platforms. Burnout Paradise is the seventh game in the Burnout series, and the first to provide players with the freedom to drive wherever they like, rather than simply offering them a series of races. This new remastered edition is based on the one that launched on Xbox One, PS4, and PC a couple of years ago. It replaces the original textures with high-resolution ones and generally promises a more visually detailed game. The detail is generally nice, and during optimal conditions, it's easy enough to race through Paradise City while spotting the many shortcuts, new jumps, and road turnings along the way. There are some elements that can make things harder to see though, which in a game this fast can be massive hindrance. Hunt animals for food and an array of mythical enemies who aren't necessarily pleased to see you. The survival list has you covered. Complete joint adventure, gain loot, train and ultimately survive together, and as you and up to 3 fellow castaways explore an island paradise. If you're in need of a builder or even a soldier, the monkeys on an island can be tamed and trained to help you with everyday tasks or back you up on raids on a fanatic camp. The secret to survival is to make the most of the resources around you, whether that piecing together a primitive axe to chop wood or mixing up a refreshing fruit smoothie to keep the hunger at bay. You can discover recipes and expand your options across foods, item, or structured crafting trees. The game may not have been perfect but proved highly enjoyable as a party game with friends. If there's one thing you can always rely on when it comes to an Olympic-themed video game, is that it will deliver a simple but fun multiplayer distraction. Tennis and beach volleyball too, while nowhere near Sega's best adaptation of the sports, still proved enjoyable enough. Single-player options are few and far, the main options being to play events individually against increasingly tougher opponents and go for gold. You will find a fair fight online against others. Hopefully the community for this game sticks around, as jumping in and out of events is a rather smooth process. The iconic puzzle platforming adventure returns. The three heroes send on a quest to retrieve the troubled young Prince Celius. He suffered from intensely dark dreams, and due to his magical talents, monstrous nightmares are able to slip into reality and wreak havoc on the waking world. The three heroes must find the afflicted prince and resolve the desperate situation before the world is engulfed by the Nightmare Prince's shadow. The three are joined together once again on a thrilling quest through fantastical fairy tale landscaping teeming with danger. Trying 4 reaches new heights in the series, bringing the most complete gameplay experience ever to fans. If you learned something new today, please don't forget to click the like button. You can also share this video with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bell right next to it, so you'll be notified as soon as I upload a new video. Thanks for watching!